Totally.
Totally like welcome. So it's so gnarly
Totally.
here. England Badger Show.
Like,
Greetings,
oh
like,
my God.
like, oh my God, you infidels. You are so rad. Oh my God. Psych. Make sure you psych. And dag the page. So here we are in the 1983 version of the England Badger Show. I got the
Oh my
Valley
God.
Oh my God, Shazif. We are the Valley Girl Bald Eagle here. And on my lovely left is like what the hell am I going here?
I'm like the Honey Badger.
Like, oh my God, you are so cool. Oh, I absolutely love your
my God.
Welcome, you infidels, to the Eagle and Badger Show here, early edition on Saturday evening. We've got the lovely Honey Badger on our left. Say hi, Honey Badger.
Hi.
And I found my hat, by the way. Thank you all for queuing into the pre-promo when I was in the garage again. It was great. I actually got a bath. I can stand myself again. Bald Eagle coming at you here. Good morning, everybody, and all you folks in China and Afghanistan and Siam and Kamchatka Peninsula and Japan that are watching. It's always good. You know, it's morning over there.
We have Canada. We have
Canada.
We have like 20 states, Canada. There was another one, Thailand. Ooh.
Now, if
we are now the international Badger and Eagle.
do you know why that the Thailand baseball team never wins a game?
No, because they don't have one.
Because it always ends in a tie. Oh,
so cheesy, so incredibly cheesy.
I tell you, it's just the way it goes. So, Badger, how are you? Did you have a good day? It was a beautiful day outside today.
We did. We hung out with the Woodpecker. Had some lunch with her, and then I got some laundry done. Which is actually, it sounds like a really boring day, but I actually enjoyed it because I could do boring, normal stuff today.
Same here. We had to do some normal stuff. It was a catch-up day. Got some bills paid.
Yeah.
I made 2 of Daddy's world famous lasagna.
Daddy's world.
I did. I saved you a piece. You can shove it in your Badger, and you'll love it. It's really good for you. It puts hair on your chest, you know, and it's really good. And I'll tell it is. I make the best lasagna in the world. I'm a Dago. Come on, you gotta love it. By the way, we have Casey Scarneggi Mellon on here. Thank you, Casey Scarneggi Mellon. It's what I do. She ain't coming, bro.
I love it.
Good stuff.
And we've got our Alabama man.
Oh, you mean Dennis Thomas? You mean the Alabama Slammer?
Alabama Slammer.
Who else you seeing on there?
Karen Foster. She's right down the road from me in Wyoming.
Karen Foster.
Brian Buck, Falcon.
Well, he's the Falcon's Nest. We know him. Well, you know what we call Karen Foster? She is KFC.
Yes.
She is Karen Foster Conservative. KFC.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
See, I'll tell you, man, I am like just rattling them off like Matt Dillon, man. It's like, wow. I can.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know if you've heard about this yet, but Casey is making, and she's doing it free of charge for right now. She's making free Save the Children car decals for Patriots. It's really cool of her. So they're like hashtag free or Save the Children or something like that. It's amazing. Correct. So Casey, that's what I'm talking about when I say Patriot on. That's awesome, dude.
As we network with Patriots, and that's actually a good thing because I was talking to one of her compadres on here, and I do encourage you all to go to. It's called the Patriot Protection Program, Michigan Fighting Human Trafficking. Okay, this is Stephanie Armstrong Masson. You know, her nickname is Parmesan. Good wine. But Stephanie Armstrong Masson has one of those. It's like a quasi-predator hunter page. So I have linked up. It's a badger knees.
I have corona.
You do. I just got it. It came from
all
my
of you
earhole.
now have to be on a 2-week lockdown.
You do. Look, it's coming. It's coming through here. Look, here comes the coronavirus.
It comes
right
electronically through the computer.
And here's the thing: you now have this individual coming up, and he smells it, and the penguin goes. But no, I encourage you all to go to Stephanie Parmesan's page, because that's a very, very good effort to make it. And Casey Scarnegie, I know you know her, making free decals for Save the Children. I will take one, ma'am, and I'll tell you what, I will wear those with pride, because we have on the front bumper the 2.0 for Tina, the ex-Georgia Peach, by way of Tennessee now. Okay, you know who I talked to today? Badger, are you on pause?
Who?
You. The only badger that I'm talking to. That would be you.
Who'd you talk?
I talked to Cam Savage.
Who did you? No, I said, who did you talk to today?
I know what you're saying. I'm trying to retain.
Who?
I talked to Cam Savage.
Cam?
Yep, Cam. And I told her I would do the entire show tonight in Southern accent. I told her I want her accent because, you know, y'all got to get up off your asses. And you know what? Get some patriotism in there, because you know what? Me and my brood here, we going into Buc-ee's and we aren't going to wear no mask. Oh, Wes, if you don't do that, because we're from Texas. And yep. And I'll tell you what, Cam Savage is an awesome girl. I want her accent. So hopefully I am doing this the right way, because I told her that she could have mine. So I'm going to
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
You hear her accent, and it puts meaning behind everything she says. Like, she could say, like, I'm a good girl and I do nothing wrong. She'd be like, I'm a good girl, I'm wrong. And it's like, yes, girl, yes.
That's right. It's so awesome. I love living in Virginia, and it took a while. When I moved from Pittsburgh to Virginia back in, like, geez, what the hell was it, 2000? They can spot you from a mile away, okay, when you're a Yankee down there. And I went from Pittsburgh to Lynchburg, Virginia, lived a short time in Richmond, and of course, right outside of Charlottesville. You know, Charlottesville, and you learn so much about history down there. But they can spot a Yankee from 600 yards away. But you know what? They are so damn nice in the South. And my oldest, Kaylee, when you talk to her, she does have a Pittsburgh accent with a little Southern drawl. Kind of just comes out every now and then. And she says, yo, you know what? I just love you, and I'm going to kick your freaking ass. I love you anyway. That's exactly how Cam comes across. She's so damn sweet. And she comes at you like Tina Ferguson does. They come at you with these nice Southern accents. Yep. What was that? Sound like you had feedback there. Holy cow. What'd you get?
On the different things, and it played it back.
Oh man, good for
We're good.
So we got Tim Alexa on here, or Haskell in the non-dyslexic speaking world. Out there in Las Vegas, Paula Fox. Paula, you are a fox. That's your nickname. You fox, you. Woo! A fox. And Antonius.
Yeah, y'all are gonna have nicknames by the time you leave.
Well, we know Antonius Semilerius Maximus. He was out there with it. He had his shirt sleeves cut off, and he had the redheaded steamroller that had it. You know, she was kind of falling out of her Eagle and Badger shirt yesterday. That's why all the truckers were honking. So Antonius Semilerius Maximus, good to have you. Of course, the Alabama Slammers on here. Rita, he shoots and scores a goal, was on here. Man, I'll tell you what, it's an all-star cast. I love it. And of course,
Lord.
the Badger, the lovely Badger. You know what, Badger? I like your hair down. You should always wear it that way.
It's getting long again. It was for the longest time, like past my butt. And I just got done. I'm just like, I can't deal with this.
I'll make you a deal.
I hate
you wear your hair down, and I'll wear mine down. Okay, tell you what, we'll just do that.
Okay.
No more pony.
All right. I don't know, Clay. That's gonna be real hard for you.
You have no idea how hard it can be for me. But no, I tell you, it's a I'll tell you what, you wear your hair down, which is nice. I'll wear my hair down. If I try to put it in a ponytail, I look like a monk. So, that's the deal. I like it. Rita Gold says I sound like Gomer Pyle. Hi, y'all. I want to hear your southern accent.
I love the southern accent, though.
So do I.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I don't know why. It's very, especially with guys, like, I'm a sucker for accents. So, like, the British accent, the southern accent.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't know. God, I may be a married woman, but I'm like, oh, Jesus.
I know what accent's coming now. Please, go ahead. You can say it.
What?
Go ahead. Whatever his name is, Tom Huddleston or whatever his name is. Pokemon guy.
I said British accent. Why do you always got to bring Tom into this?
You got to say it the way he says it.
What? I'm not saying anything. You're just trying to pick on me. You're always picking on me.
It's my job. I'm a big brother.
Burn this place to the ground.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground. My name is Tom. What's his last name again? Middlesex or Hubbardston or Liverpool? What is it?
Hiddleston.
Hiddleston. That's it. Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston. I'm gonna burn this place to the ground with my bad teeth because I'm from Britain. Dennis Thomas, keep your hair down. I'll try to keep my hair good for you, brother. Hey, we got Robert Kinnison on here. A new nickname for Robert. Sam.
Hello, Robert.
That's Sam from now on. Sam Kinnison, my favorite. Sam. Oh, you don't know who Sam Kinnison was? Don't. Oh my God, Badger. How do you know who this Tom Hiddleston freak is and not know who Sam Kinnison is?
I'm not old like you.
Old? He only died about 8 years ago. Sam Kinnison was the guy that went,
I don't know.
He was great. Oh, you got to Google him. Sam Kinnison was the best. Man, he could do a diatribe like nobody else. Son of a Baptist preacher. So, any interesting news? Yeah, he says he gets that a lot. Robert, you now have the official Eagle and Badger Show nickname moniker forever. Thou shalt be known. Sam, the preacher Kinnison. You're a good man, Robert. I love having you. Paula Fox says she likes my hair down too. Thank you, Paula. Oh, your hair. I'm sorry.
I love your hair down too. Yeah, I love your hair down too, Clay. It's
my arm hair. It's my arm hair. So, anything new in Gretchen?
Don't do it.
No, I comb it. It's great.
No, I mean, other than yesterday, we had the news yesterday that if you sneeze or have a sore throat, you're automatically labeled with corona, and anybody that's around you more than 15 minutes has to. Yeah, I know. I'm going to sneak into a press conference and go, oh, dang, I might have to go in 2-week lockdown, but you're coming with me, Whitmer.
We need to do that. Now, here's the question. Wasn't it that if anybody who's around you, if you cough, they have to be in 2 weeks lockdown?
Yeah.
We are so doing that.
It's not like you have to have all the symptoms. You can have one of them, like, I don't know, a sore throat, or you sneeze, or you have a fever, which could be caused by like a gajillion different things, right? She's saying, no. If you have one of those symptoms, and anybody that's been around you has to be quarantined for 2 weeks as well.
She's why
she's lost her damn mind.
Put 2 and 2 together. She put that edict out and also barred the press from her news conferences, those disgusting things she does.
Yes.
That's why. There you go. You just bingo.
I wish she would put half of the I wish she put half the effort into finding these children that go missing. Like we're missing like 8 million children or something like that in our country. Like put half of that effort into finding these children. But no, she wants to make some crisis. We already have a crisis. We have a legit crisis. We have human trafficking going on, slavery going on in our country right now. We have children that are going missing. we have a crisis. Use that crisis. Don't come up with some stupid excuse to lock people down. Like, it's just insane. But there is some good news coming out if you know where to look. So military.com reported March 2018, right? That there was reports that like $2 million was being used to rebuild Guantanamo Bay, right?
Nice.
And then it kind of disappeared out of everywhere. Now we're finding out that there's going to be 150 members of the Minnesota National Guard deploying to Gitmo. Then we find out that there might be some indictments coming. There might be some arrests coming. And then you put it all together and you go, thank you, Lord Jesus, it's happening. These people that have been polluting our country, and not only our country, we're talking all countries across the world. Maybe we're going to get some justice. Maybe they're going, because I mean, this would be where you would put high profile prisoners, right? Would be Gitmo. So I'm hoping this is a good sign that they're finally going to start arresting these people and putting them behind bars where they belong, because a lot of the crimes they're committing has been against children. And we just don't deal with that crap, right? We just don't do it anymore. And I think it's going to be like the Great Awakening around the world. We're going to start realizing we have proof of this going on. And that's why Trump has been able to take control of certain things. Like we see country after country after country going, you're right, Trump, we're going to back you. And the reason why is because he's got this stuff to hold over their heads. I think it's going to be amazing.
So this is going to happen in Guantanamo, where they are going to send like, child offenders, is what it would be, pedophiles, right?
I think, I mean, if you look at what has been happening at Gitmo, why would we put $200 million into this place if we weren't going to use it, right? And then we see that there's going to be 150 members of the Minnesota National Guard being sent out there. And then we see hearing coming out of DC that, oh, wait, now we're going to have all these indictments coming down. I think we're going to see those arrests pretty soon that we've been waiting for. So I'm really excited and hopeful for this.
I'll tell you what, henceforth, let it shall be known, this bald eagle here, I will take out a small loan, and I will personally carpet the cells for Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, whoever the hell that Ghislaine Maxwell crazy bitch is, and every other one that has corrupted children. Thank you. Send them all to Guantanamo and begin there. And every other jerk that hurts a child, that's where you belong. And you can have Jack Nicholson standing on the wall, like he said, I sit 90 feet away from the kid. There you go. In like a few good men. And tell you what, that's where you lock them up and throw away the fucking key, because those sick bastards need to end up there for the rest of their life. Yeah. Period. You hurt a child, you're out. Oh, guess who we got on here tonight?
Right. Well, and I think
I just saw it. We got Cam Johnson-Tawny on here.
Cam.
I love it. We told Cam that we were going to go ahead. I love you, Cam. How you doing, Cam? I love her accent. I told her I want her accent. I just stole it. But yes, Guantanamo Bay.
I mean,
that's a great place to send them where they can sweat it out for the rest of their life.
Yep. And then we're seeing Trump is assigning all these amazing. I'm usually not huge on executive orders, but we're seeing the dominoes lining up, right? We're seeing where he's starting to give us more freedoms. We're seeing he just signed an executive order today on payroll taxes. And he's saying that he wants to make them permanent. So, I mean, we're seeing slowly by slowly. It took a long time. Like, I know I was even like, okay, I'm just done. How much longer do we have to wait? But we're seeing the dominoes line up now. I think within the next 6 months, we're going to see amazing things happen in this country. But I also think we're going to see a lot of things that maybe we don't want to admit have been going on in this country.
Correct.
But I think this is the Great Awakening. I think patriots need to understand that this is your time to be a hero, right? This is your time to stand up and say, I'm going to take my place in history, and I'm going to make sure that this never happens again, and that the people that have been involved in this corruption get their due, right? So I think this really is the time for Patriots. This is the Great Awakening, and we have to start really paying attention because the clues are there. We just got to be willing to see it.
Correct. I think with that, like you said, the Great Awakening, it's about time that something is going, the wheels have got to begin turning again. Casey Scarnegie says she's not opposed to the death penalty for vicious crimes against children. I totally agree. Fry them. I'm glad they don't have me on a to go into jury duty. It's like fry them. I don't want to know why. Do you see that guy that was sentenced to 775 years in prison for like raping a baby? Or no, I'm sorry, he was filming a baby being raped. Did you see that? Sick, twisted.
No,
freak.
I didn't. What a bastard.
Right. I don't care why he did it. I want him gone. There is absolutely no reason to keep that scumbag alive. None. I can promise you one thing, his farts will never make a sound again in prison. He's going to get what's coming to him. However, bottom line is there is absolutely no reason to keep him alive. Get rid of them. Why do we got to study these jerks? There's no reason why. They're sick freaks, and they have no place in any kind of society, much less decent society. Adam Heikala, the Hawk, says, and Whitmer. Well, I don't know if she would be mean to a child, but I would love to see her end up in Gitmo. So I'll tell you what. Adam, I think we should take up a collection.
I was just going to say, Whitmer, I'd like to see her tried for murder for all the elderly she's murdered. She's put them in nursing, put them in nursing homes with COVID patients only for the reason of, making her numbers higher so she can claim she has a reason to keep people under tyrannical rule. So charge that bitch with murder.
Tell you what, I think we should all go ahead and everybody kick in $1. And I will go ahead and book a flight for Gretchen Whitmer, one way, to Novaya Zemlya. You know where that is?
Mm-mm.
Novaya Zemlya is like a little island above the Russian Arctic Circle line. And it is a missile base. Every now and then Denmark claims it for its own. And every it's like there's nothing there except polar bears or something like that. Let's send her there. We'll put her a nice house, and she can take her dumbass husband with her, but he thinks she's a dunce too. Oh man, Marky Mark. Poor Mark. Cheaper to keep her is what I call him. There is no way he can listen to her and think that she makes any kind of sense. And don't give her a checkbook to balance because woman's a dope. So I'm sorry. Marky Mark, I'm sure you could do better than the Gretch. We're going to send her to Novaya Zemlya. Postage paid. And whatever is left due, she can go ahead and charge the Russian Postal Service when she gets there. But we'll even put her on a beautiful fishing charter boat. Maybe filled with salmon or tuna or whatever it is. So she'll smell really good when she gets there. And we'll put her in a nice cabin. She can have all the pet polar bears she wants. And she can eat crab. And we don't get to deal with her no more. Neither do you. Look at that. Freedom, Mark. Come on. Get behind this, Mark Mallory. You do. You know you want it, buddy. Come on. I'll take you to Omar's. You get rid of your wife. Send her Novaya Zemlya. She'll be treated well there. Don't worry. She'll fit right at home in a society that's socialist.
She can be the queen of the polar bears.
I know. And she'll be in a socialist society. She'll love it. She'll feel right at home there. All the snow you can eat, free penguins. Here, just look just like this. See, here you go. And are there any penguins in the Arctic Circle? I think they're in Antarctica. Maybe polar bears. They look like badgers. But yeah.
We can ship her some, I guess. We'll ship her some.
Yeah. We will. We'll go ahead and
send
the next ship over. I agree. Pam Mazawickets is on here. Yep. Cam Savage for America. I love Cam's accent. I just want to steal her accent. You know that? I'm going to take Cam's accent.
I know.
We're going to go. Yep, we're going to go to Buck. We got to go to Buc-ee's today. And you know what? We are going on.
It's going to be great. We're going to go there and we're going to demand Whitmer give us back our rights. Damn it.
I love it. She is a rock star, guys.
If you haven't seen
Whitmer. Yeah, Whitmer. Man, I'll tell you what. The Gretch. The Gretch Who Stole Michigan, starring Boris Karloff. Gretch.
Mm.
Man, I thought that Rick Snyder was bad. And then I really thought that Grand Mole was even worse. But
Gretchen.
man, then I came up, Gretchen. And you've had a series of really lousy governors in this state. Do we ever have a good governor in Michigan? Because Romney sucked. And you had Grand Mole.
I mean, not one that I can remember.
No, me neither. Not since I've been here. One tough nerd, he sucked. And the devil in a blue dress. That's what I used to call her. The devil in a blue dress. That is the Gretch. What you looking at? Uh-oh. Is that a Strider coming in? Are we getting Strider bombed?
Yeah, we're getting Strider bombed.
Strider!
No.
Everybody say hi to Strider.
Say hi.
Hi, Strider.
He's got makeup on his face.
He's got poop? He's got what on his face?
Yep. Makeup on his face. Show everybody your makeup.
You look pretty.
It's on my thing.
No ice cream. No.
Make him some ice cream,
crying.
Mom. You need some ice cream.
I'm not giving him ice cream. He had ice cream already, and it's 9:00 at night, Uncle Clay.
He looks, yes, Uncle Clay always says yes, and he looks very pretty in his makeup. He looks just like Brian Buck.
Oh,
So
Lord.
that's good. And Bill Alexander looks pretty in his makeup too with his ponytail. You gotta let. Oh, Paula Fox says she's gonna chip in $1. See, that's now
Ready to go.
$3. Come on, Adam Heikkila, you can kick in $1 and pay. Oh man, I'll tell you what. I'm not even sure what a charter boat with tuna on it costs to go to Novaya Zemlya. I gotta look it up.
I don't know. We should check. We should
do it.
I do know. Rumor is that she had a meeting with Biden recently. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe he'll take her and they won't win, and we'll at least have a couple of months where
No. What did he forget? Now wait a minute. Now that would be so Biden, okay? Because Biden said he was going to take a minority female.
Mm-hmm.
Did Joe Biden forget that she's white?
Well, I mean, they would find some way around it. Like she would claim to be like 1/jillionth Indian, like Pocahontas did or something. So
God, what is she, Elizabeth
they
Warren?
make it work somehow.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. I'll tell you what, he could have her.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe we should encourage this because maybe we would get a break for a couple of months if he took her. Like, we know they're not going to win against Trump, but I mean, if he took her away for a couple of months, maybe we could breathe a little bit. I'm just saying.
Tell me about it. Well, the thing is with Gretch, I mean, sometimes I guess they would be, you'd have, all right, good job, Matthias Antonius. We got a watch party going on in Las Vegas. Sweet.
Woo, woo.
Pull that one-armed bandit, baby. Cha-ching.
I've been to Vegas for a couple of years. Maybe we need a vacation in Vegas.
I agree. Matthias Antonius, make it happen. We want to keep Nevada open. And we were there, and it was the dead zone. So guess what? We're coming. Nevada and Michigan stand together. Totally
That's
opposite
right.
states, each need each other. But yes,
That's right.
Biden, he's going to take Michelle Obama. I'm sorry. I'm not going to relent on that. That's who, yeah.
Biden, please take Gretchen. Please.
No, he's going to take Michelle, which then also goes against, Joe Biden's thing, because then he's going to take a man for his,
You can't say that.
Manshell has a bigger bulge in her crotch than I do. I'm sorry. I just said it, and I don't care, Schmuckerberg. It's a fact. You take a look at some of the old pictures, man, I'll tell you what. Guy looks like one of the Scooby-Doo villains. Sorry. Manshell Obama. She is terrible. And if she becomes vice president, we're really up the creek without a paddle, because you know that Psycho Joe is going to go ahead and get the boot. What amendment is that? The 26th Amendment where they incapacitate a president? Which one is that?
25th.
25th?
Isn't that the 25th? I might be wrong. There's like a million of them. So I'm pretty sure that's the 25th Amendment. I'm not sure though.
Well, at least that Well, the good thing is Barack gets to be the first husband then. So it's like, that's
Yeah, Jeff jokes around that I'm going to be president one day and he's going to be the first dude.
I'm all for it, man. Hey, you know what?
Yeah. Oh, that would be so bad. I'd be like suntanning on the front lawn. You would be up on the roof, like, playing with guns. And then Becky would be in the kitchen. It'd be chaos.
Don't stick Becky in the kitchen. Becky is your Secret Service agent. She's so tall.
Becky loves cooking. What are you talking about? That's like her favorite thing to do is cook.
Well, because you force her to do it.
I do not. She loves cooking. She's got her baking or whatever degree or whatever it is. Just saying.
We'll get Kaylee up here too. Talk about two good cooks. Christy Cook, what did I miss? You came on early. Yes, we did, Crisco. We have an early show tonight. Pam Major Wickets. Liz, roll your own or don't smoke a joint is on here. Liz, my daughter loved her cat's bag. Thank you, ma'am. Mwah. Sent the picture.
So Pam said if they steal this election, there will be war. Here's the thing, Pam, and people think I'm crazy when I say this. I think there might be a war either way. Because if we win, we already seen the liberals go nuts before. It's going to be 10 times as bad now. If they win, they're going to start taking our rights away. And, I'm sorry, but you ain't coming for my guns. You ain't coming for my guns. You're not coming for my freedom of speech. Think about how hard, people like me and Shelly and Clay are hit right now when we have a good president backing us up. Think about what happens if, we have a bad president and we've got nobody to back us up. We've got, bad lawmakers in order. We've got different, an inability to have somebody protect our rights. It's going to be bad either way. Is it going to be a full out war? I don't know. But we're pretty damn close to it right now. So.
We are. Oh, who's this?
Carrier pigeon.
Oh, carrier pigeon here.
Oh, look what I got.
Say hi, Liz. Say thank you, Liz. And
Thank you.
Yep. Say show your pretty ears. Oh, look at that. And what did you get? What else you got in your hand?
I haven't listened to it yet.
Well, go put it in.
Where?
Where would you play a CD?
The TV.
In the tape deck?
TV.
Yes, that's right. In the TV. No, you can't put it in the TV. Put it in your CD player upstairs. You'll like that. Memories, blah, 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 badger. So you got to sing it with me. Ready?
Yeah.
Say thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Liz.
Say I love it. You like the ears?
Yes.
You want to say hi to the audience?
Hi.
Tell them all to send Gretchen to Guantanamo Bay.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Wait, who else wrote a comment?
Who else is on the comments? You got Pam Mazurwick.
C's new comment.
You got Matthias Antonius out there in Las Vegas. Who's this over here?
Badger.
The Badger. See, Liz Joint says, hi, sweetie. You're so welcome. That's when they gave it to you. See, you got some nice people. And, of course, Casey Scarnegie Mellon gave me that. And, of course, Audra got hers. That's the Pokemon one you got, right?
I've actually got 3 cups from Casey. I've ordered 2, and she gave me 1. Yeah. I love her cups. They're such a great, I don't know. I ordered one thinking, okay, this is going to be handmade, so I've got to accept that it might break or fall apart. Now, these things are awesome. They're amazing. She does such a great job.
They're built like iron, because I want to order one that has a eagle on it.
Maybe I'll get a honey badger one.
Jan Robeck says she is cute, Clay. I know. She gets her looks from her dad.
No, she doesn't.
What?
So Tommy said,
Bad,
don't forget what Trump said about there being evil rich people out to get him, and they won't be seeing him for a while. I don't remember what the context was around that. I don't remember. Do you remember when he said that? I know there was a whole story to it, but I cannot remember what the context around it was.
I mean, not seeing Trump for a while, but evil rich people?
There was, we know. I have no idea. We know there's a whole group of people that essentially run everything in this world. And we know that we're seeing them. It's going to be, this is what I'm talking about, the Great Awakening. We're seeing them lose more and more and more power. They had power over the Vatican. Trump came in, fixed that. There's a bunch of different things that go, on behind the scenes that we don't necessarily find out till later. But I know there is a huge, a group of people that are very rich. Like, they own practically everything in this planet. They own us because we owe so much debt. And I know Trump has been working to take them down and take power from them. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't recall it being said, so I'd have to look it up. But now I do recall when Rush said this. He said that if President Trump wins, the riots will continue. If President Trump loses, here's what's going to happen. President Trump loses the election and COVID just magically goes away and the world is gets fixed. Okay? Or if he wins, I mean, seriously, come on, America. Why? When my guy lost in 2012, I did not riot. We just lived with it.
Right.
I'm not an Obama fan. I have no problem with the man. He defeated a lousy candidate in shit Romney. And when he won, and he defeated an evil one, a worse one in John McCain. So we didn't riot then. We just dealt with it. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the way the world works. You're going to have Republicans. You're going to have Democrats. You probably have an independent someday that's going to win. That's the way the world works. But why do we got to riot because somebody's the president? Don't they realize that if they truly wanted to make a difference in their protests, protest your governor and your legislatures and say, fix your state. The president of all the people is the figurehead. Okay?
Right.
He sets the agenda, period. And he can do some, some orders, but honestly, it's your governors and your representatives, especially damn senators, that need to be held accountable. So when they are protesting and going to riot because Trump was reelected, forget it.
Right. And Tommy said too, this is something that a lot of people, I won't repeat it because I want people to do their research. But Big Pharma, there's 3 connections and you're from Fauci to Big Pharma. You see this, if you want to see it, if you look and you go into it with an open mind, you see what's going on. Fauci knows that the hydrochloroquine, do I say that right? I don't know if I said that right. He knows that's he knows.
Hydroxychloroquine.
There you go. He knows that is a great, a cure for, not a cure, but it treats COVID. He knows that. The doctors know that. But the problem is he can't make money off of that. So he's going to come up with this life-saving vaccine that probably has a bunch of crap in it we don't need. And he's going to make money off of it. And Bill Gates is going to make money off of it. And if you look really, not even really that close, because this is all open information. You just got to be willing to want to see it. It's all deep state. It's the Clintons, it's the Bushes, it's the big pharmacy companies, it's the Rothschilds, it's, the Soros. They're all connected and they're all making this money off of us. And if that's not bad enough, if you look deeper beneath the surface, you're going to see a lot of really heinous stuff going on with these people. And again, it's not something they've tried to hide. They've just counted on me and you and every citizen of this country and every other country to turn a blind eye or not care or just be asleep. And what we're seeing is this amazing awakening of people. And we just have to be prepared because there's some nasty, nasty stuff coming down the line. And it's going to make you sick. And it's going to make you go, I did this. Me and you and everybody else did this because we shut our eyes and we looked the other way because we didn't want to believe these things. So in a way, we're responsible for it, but it also gives us the opportunity to be the heroes of this generation and open our mouths and our minds and say, we're going to fight this. And shit, it might come down to a bloody fight. It might, but we have to be willing to take that stand and say, I'm not going to be blind anymore. And most of our viewers are very awake and willing to see the truth. But we see the mass population, they can see, but they're blind. They can hear, but they're deaf because it's too crazy. It's too, oh no, why would that's not happening, but it is. And it's happening right in front of our eyes. And they're using our money to do it too.
Totally agree. I was checking my feed here. Your camera is really fuzzy. And it's actually doing that on Facebook. So I wasn't sure if if it's your wire or just your.
No, I just I put the settings down on my camera because it takes less bandwidth.
Okay.
So my camera might not be clear, but I wanted to make sure, because we are streaming to 3 platforms right now. I just wanted to make sure that I could do whatever I could do to make sure it doesn't. So I might be fuzzy, but it's streaming to 3 platforms right now. So I wanted to make sure nobody lost us.
So tonight she is the fuzzy badger. For the redheaded steamroller, she'd be the fuzzy beaver. But that's okay. No, and the thing is now Tommy says something, and I have to kind of give a different opinion on that. He says the left is on their last legs. Everything we're seeing is their last gasp at power. Honestly, I think they're on their first legs. Okay. And they are trying to make a final push for all-encompassing power. Because you're not going to get rid of Schumer. You're not going to get rid of Pelosi. You're not going to get rid of Maxine Waters or Stabenow or all these other entrenched liberals that are already driving the nail into the coffin. The key here is keeping what you have in check and moving forward back to a center-right agenda, because they have yanked the country all the way over to almost a China mode. We talked about that last night. So they are throwing every Hail Mary pass they can right now. The problem is they're the ones catching it. And usually a Hail Mary pass, you got 1 second left, they drop back and they chuck that puppy up there, and you got a 1 in 20 chance of catching the ball. Sometimes you win. But every single time they're throwing that football, they're catching it. Why are we asleep at the wheel? There should be no reason why she's extending this thing past September 10th. You know these schools ain't going to open up, right?
Yeah, I just got a call from my school. I go back to the fact that everybody's so upset they're not opening, but I actually see this as a great opportunity.
Sure.
Because a lot of people can't afford online school. They can't afford private school. Well, this way, I know Kentwood Public Schools is doing it. The first 2 weeks, they're going to do it online. And then if you decide to continue doing it online as a parent, you can. Well, this way I can sit in the corner and listen to the teacher, and I can go, wait a minute, that is not what the Constitution says. So we have a little bit more of the ability to monitor what our kids are being taught. And we immediately say, this is wrong, fix it.
But what about our
taxes? It's kind of like
kids?
I mean, that's what's paying for it, though. Our taxes would be paying for, like, Scarlett gets a computer to take the school or the classes online. So we still have to pay the teachers because the teachers are still teaching. We'd still have to pay for the computers and things like that. But I think we're never going to get our vouchers. I would prefer our vouchers, but we're never going to get that. The liberals are never going to let that happen.
Nope.
So I think this is almost a way, I don't know, to compromise on it. We're never getting our vouchers. So at least this way, the children are in our homes. We can listen to what they're being taught.
Yep.
And we can say, no, that's incorrect. You're not going to teach my child that. Otherwise, it's like we send them off to school for 8 hours and we have no freaking clue what they're learning, right? I mean, we get their homework home, but what in God's name did the teachers say about it before they got home? So I think it's going to be better for our kids if they're at home and they're learning and we can monitor that. Now, I get there's a lot of people that are going to have problems finding, daycare for their kids, because a lot of people I know work during the day while their kids are at school and don't have to worry about, daycare because they're at school.
And you know who monitors daycares, don't you? Lara. So now, right, that I was talking about that to a friend of mine, and that is going to be next, because we watched Lara crack down on people that are licensed to be hairdressers. And when that garbage was happening, Lara is the one that was attacking both Carl Mankey and Sarah Huff. That's how they went after these folks. the Licensing and Regulation Administration of Michigan, LARA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you're going to have is when these schools kind of quasi-open, and you know that's why your taxes go to pay it. Honestly, if your teacher makes $35,000, $40,000 a year or whatever they make, there cannot be in a city not enough taxes to pay their salary. I'm sorry. You're paying for the building and the admin. So now if you can't go to school, you don't got to pay for the supplies. You're schooling at home. You got to pay for your own computer. Got it. That should cut your taxes way down. However, the onslaught and flood that goes into daycares, the very minute that COVID, one kid walks in and they have to scan them here and scan them there for this COVID stuff, what are they going to do when they have to shut the daycares down? It gets to the point where now you see it happening. We're 20 days out from school starting, 25 days out, and it'll be beautiful and glorious for the first day, and all the kids will hug and love, and it'll be all, it'll be Woodstock at school again for the kids. And then one kid is going to get COVID, and they're going to shut that down again, and then it's going to be probably online if they even open up the schools. But you already see the inklings of the teachers union trying to fight the reopening of the schools.
Yeah.
They've already been off for 6 months. So,
well, you know what's funny about that real quick? What's funny about that is in every city where we've seen these riots, like almost half of the people they do end up arresting are teachers or professors. And it's like, wait a minute, you're so scared of this virus, you don't want the schools open, but you're okay to go riot in the streets. I'm just saying, I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much.
Now, Pam Mazurwickets makes a good point. She goes, some parents cannot do that; they have to work.
Right?
It is not what you make to work. It is what you spend to make what you make at work. Meaning, if you got to travel 2 hours to work, and you have both your kids in school, and you got to pay your taxes. Now, if the government comes to you and says, we're homeschooling the kids, your taxes are cut in half, you can live on less if you're taking home more.
Yeah, they
not a problem. We can do that, and you make adjustments. That's how our grandparents did it, but they will not. Right.
I was still paying for taxes for Kenwood Public Schools, and I had one kid in Kenwood Public Schools, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm still paying all these taxes, and my kids literally can't go to the school district because you made it unsafe for my children to go to the school district, and I still got to pay taxes. This is bullshit. Right. Which the voucher system, I think that's the best way to do it, but I don't believe we're ever getting those vouchers. I don't see it happening.
And meanwhile, while your self-employed person or your contractor or your bricklayer or your cement man scratched and pecked for 5 months, okay, I would like to know a teacher that didn't get a paycheck over the last 6 months. They still get paid. They still get paid. Not only do they get summers off. Now, I have good respect for good teachers. We talked about this on a few shows. I think it was a couple weeks back we talked about teachers. However, when I have to deal with a PTA, and we're like, they're all essential. Oh, my God, we got to respect every teacher. No, we don't. Okay, frankly, some teachers flat out suck. They just have tenure. They've been around forever. Like a pitcher that's 47 years old hanging on to the last tendon in his arm, and get them out of here because they have lost their freshness date. Bottom line is, I want teachers that innovate, that make kids want to go, that are able to spend the time, and they know the ones that need it, with the kids that need the additional help. To those teachers, we will always go to bat for, because they reach a child and they give them initiative and passion to want to learn. But the ones that want to go on strike again, seriously, you've been off for 6 months. Tell you what, turn in your paycheck, go ahead on unemployment, and we won't have our taxes. And then you can have all the rest of your life off if you truly wish. But you took a job, okay? Go and do your job. You cannot pick and choose your students. You cannot pick and choose when to teach, okay? You teach in wartime and peacetime, sick time and health time. It's like a marriage. And if you're going to tax your population base within your state to teach, because we pay your salaries, teachers. I'm sorry, you have the teachers union. Not only do you get the best benefits in the country, the unions of the state of Michigan for teachers, these are the best healthcare benefits in the country here. If you cannot say, I'm going to not go back to work because I'm afraid of COVID. then you are not a teacher, because you are supposed to be teaching the children in class for 8 hours a day how to overcome adversity, how to, sometimes, kiddo, you're going to lose, you're going to get that F on a test, and we're going to help you get the B or the A next time by teaching you how to overcome. But now, I'm sorry. And if you're a teacher out there, guys, and you don't like what I'm saying, then give me a call, because honestly,
well,
I have
and the thing is, there's some good teachers, you know,
Sure. But they're few and far between.
Right. And I know some good teachers that are told you can't teach that. Well, why can't I teach the Constitution? That's the way it's written. That's the way it's supposed to be. No, that's going to offend people. I have people, our teachers in Kentwood Public Schools they're amazing teachers. Like
Correct.
one of them still, he had my son as a student in 8th grade, I want to say. And sixth grade. And he still is in contact with my son. They still, do Civil War stuff together. Like he's an involved teacher and he teaches it correctly. And he's terrified. He's like, I don't know what to do, because this is what I love to do. I love to teach students, but they're putting handcuffs on me and saying you can't teach what's correct because it might offend somebody.
Bingo. Go up a couple phrases here. Christy Cook, good friend of mine. Okay, click that up on the thing, and I got a point to make.
Which one?
She goes, "Hey, don't knock me, Eagle, sir."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is exactly how every person in the world, whether you own a business or you're at the PTA, when you criticize a worker, reacts. Well, I'm doing the best I can. I know you are, Christy, because I know your family, and I've taken the time to know them. However, every teacher that you say, why don't you try doing better? Well, I'm doing the best I can. Okay, Mr. Pitcher, you got 8-point ERA. I'm throwing the ball as best as I can. There comes a point in time where everybody's always doing the best they can, but who is judging the best they can? Because they're all essential, and they're all doing the best they can. We're here for the children. No, you're not. Yeah. You're there for your paycheck and your 3-month off every year, and now you've had 6. So, Christy, I know you're a good teacher because I know how your child is raised. And I know where the family from whence you came. However, I could name you 50 teachers that should be fired off in alphabetical order if you want them, because they did not make a difference in my life or my friends' lives growing up. Then I could name you about 10 that really reached you, that made you want to go to school, to learn. That is the passion. But that also comes from the principal and the administration. Teachers and parents must work together to get the children going that way. But there was a time when you had as much say as your teacher. Now, you don't. There's no way. We have lost our schools. Sorry, go ahead.
The problem is you've got nobody to go to. I've been to Kentwood Public School board a million times. Mm-hmm. The superintendent is actually my old middle school, our assistant principal. And I have been there over and over and over again. Like, they know who I am. Like, Mr. Zorhoff knows when I'm going to call. I'll call and he'll be like, well, I was expecting your phone call. They know who I am. Yep. They hear from me. But the problem is you go to these school board meetings. I'll tell you this. Well, I went to a school board meeting once and I had to wait for my turn to address the school board. And there was 2 art teachers that came up before I had, and they're just presenting this whole, we went and saw the Obama portrait and Obama's the greatest president ever and blah, blah, blah. And I got up there and I said, did you hear what they said? Okay, they were talking about how horrible Trump was and how great Obama was. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about when your teachers have no ability to be unbiased. Right. They came in here and were like, oh, look at us. Is this so great? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is why my conservative children are constantly picked on, are constantly harassed, are suspended for telling the truth. My daughter got suspended for saying there's a difference between illegal immigration and immigration, and she got suspended because it hurt somebody's feelings. This is what's wrong. And we've got nobody on our school boards, even in the most conservative areas. It's all liberals. Every single one of them are effing liberals on the school board. Like, and we don't have parents like me and people that I know that go in there and say, this is enough. Right. And I've had parents all over Kentwood say, my kids experienced the same thing. That's why we had to take them out of there. I said, tell them, write them a letter, tell them, oh, we don't want to do that. Or I just tell my kid to keep his head down. You're telling your child he's got to keep his head down in school. He can't say what he has been taught, how he feels, the truth about things. And you tell them to keep their head down? No, you tell them to fucking fight. You tell them that you're going to fight for everything that everybody before you has fought for.
Yep.
And it's embarrassing how much conservative parents have dropped the ball on this.
Yep.
Because we just assumed. I did it too. I just assumed the school district was monitoring what these children were being taught, and they weren't. There was another incident where they handed my son a piece of a news article. It was an opinion paper that said that Trump's Muslim ban was the same as FDR's internment camps. And my son said, if you want me to write an opinion on this of why I think it's wrong, I'll write it, but you're not going to make me write a paper that I know is false information.
Correct.
I go to Pinewood Middle School and I present this paper to the assistant principal, and he's like, oh my God, they did this? And I'm like, are you not monitoring what your teachers are teaching? Well, no, we just give them a syllabus and they kind of fill it in with their own. Oh my God.
Right. Yep.
You could be teaching Nazism to these kids and nobody would have an effing clue.
They wouldn't. And that's
bad, you guys.
Correct. Yes. And the thing is, that is exactly where, when a teacher says they're doing the best they can, I understand. It is not easy to watch children, 30 of them, for 8 hours a day. Got it. However, they are checking boxes on a syllabus now. This is not the days when you had to teach a child who could not read. It might have been dyslexic, and how to teach them to write correctly. Okay.
Right.
You did not have to deal with a child who was not diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, and every child seems to have it now. Instead of telling, because they're afraid to tell that child, stop it. No. Why? Yeah. Because then the teachers blame it on the administration or the district. Well, the district won't let me do anything, and then they blame it on the government, and then the government blames it on the president. Nobody takes accountability. That is why schools fail. They have to begin in the home. Every time Lacey does her homework, we check it. We check it to make sure that what she had goes into the backpack is correct. And if she missed one or she overlooked them, you check it and you turn it in. There are some parents don't even look at it. And then you go into the backpack after the month and it's stuffed into the corners and the bags. Like, my God, no wonder your kid's getting an F. But why don't the teachers do that as well? If you have a child who maybe doesn't turn their homework in, okay, or forgets, and they do the work and leave it in their desk, don't the teachers have enough time to open the desk and say, oh, kiddo, you did all the work, turn it in? It's one thing that teachers back when I was growing up, and probably when our parents were growing up, always knew they had an instinct for the child that needed the additional attention. Yeah. Maybe they weren't seeing the blackboard. Maybe they weren't be able to see what it was on the chalkboard or the blackboard or whatever, and they were failing, and they knew the kid didn't have a learning disability. Maybe he needed glasses, and they talked to the parent, and they worked with the parent. Now, you only get a phone call at home when your child hurts somebody's feelings. For God's sake, my parents would have gotten a phone call every hour. Okay, if my feelings were always hurt in school, and I'm sure we did our own share of hurting feelings. You would have never not been off the phone. That's all we did. 4th grade, ripping on the school bus. Man, your mama's so fat. Whatever.
Yeah, they don't do any, like with Lily. Yeah, she's got attention span problems. And they said, well, put her on medication. So we tried that. And then we realized they had to keep upping the medication, right? And I'm like, this has got to stop. She's been on too much. And so I took her off and they were like, you need to put her back on her medication. And I said, excuse me, but it's literally your job to teach my child whether she has a disability or not. Correct. I'm not putting her on so many drugs that she comes home and passes out till 8 o'clock in the morning because she's on so much drugs. Like, it's your job to teach him. It's what you've been trained for. Stop, and stop like preaching this BS politically correct stuff in school. It's gotten to the point where kids are not being like at Kentwood, she had this little Mexican boy that kept stealing stuff from her. And Lily kept going, hey, teacher, he's stealing stuff from me. And finally, the kid goes up to Lily and says, it's a free country. I can steal from you if I want. Well, she was in like 5th grade. So she goes, listen, that's not what a free country means. You still have laws here. If you don't like it, go back to a country that has different laws. Now, she wasn't saying that from a racist point of view. She was just saying that's not how the laws work here. If they work like that back in your other country, go back there. She wasn't being racist. She was like 10 at the time. Oh my God. I had to fly home. Well, I got pissed because the principal calls me and he's like, you're not going to like this. Lily's saying racial slurs. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to beat this kid's ass, right? So I get there. And they explained the situation to me. And I said, did you do anything about the kid stealing from her? Well, no. I said, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get my kid ice cream because what she said might not have been politically correct, but it was right. And she was trying to keep somebody from stealing from her that you should have stopped. This is our school system.
Correct. Right. If you were going to have a child, the thing is, especially at that age. Now, if they're 16, okay, that's one thing. They should know how to say things and not say things. But if they're 7 or 8, okay, and let's say you have my dad, okay, let's say he's in a store and a kid goes, he's really fat, okay? They're just stating the obvious. And my dad knows, all right, the thing is, you're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Or he has no hair, he's bald. You, as an adult, should be able to say, that's okay, kiddo, no problem. Because they are just stating the obvious.
Obvious.
And we teach our children as parents, don't lie. That's what we always have told them. So what they're teaching the children how to do is lie by making them be overwhelmingly politically correct. And that is now an issue because they are teaching the children in school what their version of the truth is. And that is, again, indoctrination of our youth. And then they come home and it's like, I got in trouble. Why? Because I called this penguin a penguin. That's what it is. It's a penguin. You know? What the hell? What are you going to call it? A gorilla? You know, it's a penguin. You know, and I'm sorry.
That's exactly what I explained to the principal. I was like, she wasn't saying it from a racial point of view. She was just saying, that's not the laws here. If that's the law in your other country, then you should go back there because you want to steal from people. And here it's illegal to steal from people. My God, it was like, I thought my kid was like spewing out N-words all over the place the way they were talking on the phone. Like I literally got in my car. I was like, I'm going to beat this kid's ass. She's going to be grounded for 3 months. And I get there and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? You couldn't explain to her why she could have said it a different way and explain to the kid what she meant by it. You had to just go, your daughter's being a racist. I thought she had a KKK hood on or something. Like the way they presented it was horrible.
And what it's doing is it's shaming a child for stating the obvious. And again, you know, and you as a parent can sit there and say, well, because Lacey's done that before. I think all kids do that. They just state something that they don't know the word is bad until they say it. Or what is perceived as bad. I mean, if somebody says, hey, that bald guy over there is really short. Well, unless you got me and maybe Tim Walenga sitting next to each other, you're going to say, which one? Oh, the guy with the funny hat. And then you're like, oh, don't call his hat funny. You know, it is a funny hat. It looks, what happened to words and not hurting feelings in the world has become such a ridiculous. We talked about that last night. My kid watching Young Frankenstein in Pittsburgh, and she wants to watch Blazing Saddles. You know, if you watch Blazing Saddles, which completely took and broke down the barriers and made you look at yourself, or made you look at a way of how there was no sacred cow. Every single ethnicity, every single religion was skewered. So there was nobody was protected, okay? But it comes down to the point where folks have got to drop this I am offended by everything crap, because that is teaching a child how to be in a box lemming world, and then they're going to lie, and you're teaching them how to lie. Right.
And it becomes this like discipline on these kids when they just want to know. Like I said before on the show, my son was told he couldn't wear a baseball cap in school because they couldn't identify him with a baseball. That's the reason why they gave him. Well, then he goes into class and he sees this girl with a hijab on, which is totally her right to do so. She wants to, wants to, but him being a like 11-year-old kid at that point was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense, because if I can't wear a baseball cap, why can she wear that? Covers more of her head. So Correct. He raised his hand and he did it in a polite manner and was like, I'm just trying to understand here, because I was told I couldn't wear a baseball cap because you can't identify me, but her whole head is covered. And it was like a meltdown from Kentwood Public Schools. And I'm like, did he do it in a disrespectful manner? Did he say rude things to her? Well, no, he didn't do that. But you're going to suspend my child for stating something that as an adult, I still don't fully understand. You know what I mean? Like, I can't cover my face. Well, I guess I can now because of the COVID mask, but I can't cover my face when I go to a bank, but they can. So I'm an adult and I still don't fully comprehend everything. Correct. Why there's different rules for different people. He's a kid just asking an obvious question. He didn't do it in a rude manner. He didn't make fun of the girl. And yet they're suspending him because she was offended. And I'm like, well, what about when my kid gets called a cracker every day at school? That offends him and you guys do nothing about it. I mean, there's two separate rules for different people in this country, and it's absolutely sickening. You saw what happened to me and Shelly in the Capitol. We're being charged with her with a felony. Yet 2012, the Liberals went in there and did $10,000 in damages and nobody got charged. It's sickening. There's two different rules for two different sets of people in this country, and we are going to fail if we don't fix it. It's disgusting.
You know, I'm offended.
Yeah, I'm offended by your face, Clay.
I'm offended by your glasses, girl. You know, it's okay. Let's go back to fourth. Oh, now you got them off. Okay. Look at them Coke bottle glasses. Look at that.
They are thick.
What are you trying to be? What do you got? Jimmy JJ? What are you trying to be? Jimmy J.J. Walker with those headphones on? These kids, right. Nice. This is he spoke going up. People always ask why you just roll when somebody makes fun of you. Because that's how you did. You were taught as a young age, sticks and stones, and you always know when somebody is messing with you. And there's also a way to teach child context. When Jimmy calls me a name, I know he's just messing around. When I call him a name, just messing around. There is the ability to understand basic. That's what they call it, just jagging you off in Pittsburgh. But when somebody is going after you, there's a whole different way of that. Now, every time somebody is called Four Eyes, okay, or Baldy, that's bullying. Bullshit. Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's bullying?
Only when it is a liberal or leftist that's being bullied is it bullying.
Well, you bully me every day, and I'm not a liberal or leftist. No, you bully me every day.
It's not considered that. It's not. You can see Nestle has a whole internet bullying like task force, okay? And I'm like, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna find when that stuff happened in my wedding and there was thousands of people talking trash. I'm like, I'm gonna see what she says. They're like, no, that's not bullying and harassment. 3,000 people calling me a fat ass isn't harassment and bullying? What is then? Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody says something like all men are dogs. That's harassing. It's ridiculous. There's two sets of rules. There absolutely is. And you can see it very blatantly. Like when we hold our rallies, I held rallies for years and I had to get permits and insurance and all this junk and porta potties and all this. They hold a rally, they can block the streets, they can do damage, and nobody does anything about it. There's two sets of rules.
I'm offended.
Good.
I'm offended because you don't have a silver cup like I have. You have a green cup, and I don't have a silver. I don't have a green. Why don't I? How come you have a honey beaver and I have a penguin? I'm offended by this. I'm going to see your beaver. Put your beaver on screen.
Badger.
The badger. There you go. See? Right. But see, right, what you had there was an example of what I have and you have. It doesn't make a difference. And then we used a word that can be taken two different ways. Audra knows we're screwing around. Okay? It's not meant to be offensive. It's not meant to be bullying. It's meant to be humor. Learn how to laugh America. Because as folks are sitting there saying, guess what, guys? We're going to teach children that we have to sit here and be mind-numb robots, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to vote the Demolition Man, and we're going to put on our little helmets. We're going to reproduce. We have to go to a lab, and we have to turn on our cars, and we have to have this, and we all go to a speed. That's how they're going to be talking pretty soon, like a freaking Texas Instrument robotic calculator from 1987.
Women, right? Women are like, I'm like, you're so stupid. A guy joking around with you means that he holds you at the same level as his other guy friends. If he's joking around with you and he's making comments that he's comfortable making with you, it means that you're one of the guys. You're one of his pals. Like, for a woman to be like, oh my God, I'm so offended. No, do you want equality or not? Or do you want to be treated like a pretty little princess? Because you can't have both. You can't go around being offended like everything, like you're a flippin' snowflake, and then go, I'm a warrior woman. It's bullshit.
I want to be treated like a little princess. I do. I'm highly offended you don't treat me like a princess because, when you have to treat me like I'm equal to this penguin in height. Okay, so that's me.
Pretty much.
I see a little bit, but maybe not much. But it's like, that is how we were taught growing up. Jimmy and Bill and Josh and Rebecca and Rita and everybody else along this thread, unless you're 15 years old, that is the way we were brought up. Roll with it, man. We got to be able to joke around and laugh because you're right. That's how you're included. When you know it bothers you, that's when you have to deal with the bully. Now, you'd have to always be on the lookout for a kid that may be a little bit sensitive. You tell them, okay, back off a little bit. We get that. But there are always folks that, oh, man, it's like everything today is offensive.
Everything.
I think, good God, it is. I'm offended that, Jimmy's grass is prettier than my grass. Okay, Jimmy, I am now entitled to your grass in your yard. You have a better yard than I do. I want your grass. And I'm offended if I can't have your grass because I am offended that you have a better yard.
I knew when we were in trouble. I think it was 2 Christmases ago, when they were like, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas can't be played anymore. That's racist. And I'm like, you do know they're talking about snow, you dumb assholes. They're talking about snow, not about some white privilege Christmas. They're talking about snow. And then something about Rudolph. I don't know. They made Rudolph like racist. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like
Rudolph.
White Christmas. Yeah, I don't know. Something at his nose. I don't know. I was like, how is Rudolph? And if it is because they were making fun of Rudolph because he was different. And I'm like, if it is, it's like the underdog story. Like Rudolph comes back and saves the day and they realize he's worth things and he's got worth. And I'm like, but White Christmas, they're talking about snow. They're like, White Christmas. Isn't that what it's called? It's White Christmas, right? Like, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. You know what I'm talking about.
I get it. You don't got to ask me.
No, I didn't. Some people don't know what I'm talking about when I say that. I don't know how they don't because it's like a traditional Christmas song.
We all know the song White Christmas. Only you millennials don't know what White Christmas is.
I don't know. Some people haven't. Like, I've tried to explain. They're like, what's that? It sounds racist. No, it's not snow. It's fucking snow.
Well, what gets me is, they always leave out one. That's who should be offended. Because when sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If I was the 8th or 9th reindeer, okay, in that song, I would be feeling left out. You know who that was, right?
No.
Yes. Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, and Rudolph. But there's a 10th reindeer.
Who?
Olive.
She's a female. Maybe that's what it was. They left Olive out.
Yep. Olive, the other reindeer. Remember Olive, the other reindeer? Used to laugh and call Rudolph names. So not only was Olive left out, but she was also a bully. That's probably why he began picking on Rudolph for his red nose. So he must have a red nose because he's a racist, right?
Well, maybe she's a feminazi, and she didn't like that, Rudolph was a boy and got attention, and she didn't.
Well, Dancer and Prancer were girls too. And Vixen, I don't think is a boy, unless it could be a boy. You know, he was the first trans deer. Okay, that's the thing.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
yes,
He's
yes,
Vixen.
Vixen. You know, and it could. You never know. You know, you got Frosty the Snowman. You know, Frosty and Mrs. Frosty. It's like, you know, and then you got little baby Frosty, Olaf, or whatever they call him. But when people find offense in those things, you're right. It's who in the hell would find offense in that in the first place? I never have driven by a mosque and been offended by a mosque, even though that is not my religion. I think they're beautiful buildings.
Yeah,
I would never take offense to it. Right. I have never driven down, you know, and you've been in DC before, and you drove down what, G Street and H Street? You know,
oh, I don't know.
You get a whole. Oh man, I don't blame you for driving down that. You know, if you take a drive down there and don't get offended, you get more nudity there than in Mardi Gras. Now I don't find offensive to that. I mean, you can show me all the boobs you want, but the bottom line, it comes down to the point where people are they are getting away with it because we are in a litigious society. That is what it is. Who can we sue? Okay, now tomorrow, Audra, I'm very offended because you have nicer headphones on your head than I do. And you know what? I do have mine, but you know what? I feel offended because you're wearing yours and I'm not.
Well, no, it's just like
it's garbage.
People are afraid of getting called a homophobe or racist. Like when I say, because trust me, I'm gonna let you know this. I love drag queens. I think they're gorgeous and they have better legs than me. I love watching drag queens. I think they're awesome. I'm sorry, y'all are gonna be like, oh God, no. But I know drag queen, like some of my friends are drag queens, and they even agree, like, okay, this is like an adult thing. This isn't something to go bring your children to. And we're seeing drag queen story hour. Like my drag queen friends are like, holy shit, that's so inappropriate. Like what we do is very like, it's sexual in some ways. You know, you see them, they're like shaking their butts or whatever. And they're like, that's inappropriate. So when I say I don't like drag queen story hour, it's not that I have a problem with drag queens. It's you have to do it in an appropriate manner, right? Like I wouldn't want a naked straight man walking down the street. Well, I don't like it when they have gay pride parades and they've got a naked gay man with just duct tape around his dick. Like I don't want to see that. They do. They
quack,
do
quack.
it. I'm like, what the F are you doing? Like, I whatever you want to do with your winky, do it, but not in public. You know?
Go, baby, go. Right on. That's like last night, man. Go, yeah.
I'm just saying, like that poor little, he's like 12 years old, and his family has convinced him he's a drag queen, and he goes to like drag bars at night and strips, and I'm like, good Lord, what are you doing? Like, and I wouldn't care if he was gay or straight or whatever he's identifying. It's like, that's wrong. So just because somebody doesn't agree with something doesn't mean they don't want gay people to have rights. It's like,
right.
I would have a problem with it if it was a straight person doing it. Come on.
Right. When you are 18 or older, do whatever you want to do. Period.
Yes.
But,
I don't care what you do.
Correct. But under that age, parents need to have some discretion. Okay. But you're right. When that becomes, the more this stuff becomes considered normal,
right,
the less you have right-wise to say, guess what? You know, I don't, what's it, Clay, you need the letter D, just like the, but bottom line is, it comes down to, there was a time when if you did wrong as a child when we were growing up, your parents told you no, okay? And when you say it today, sure, you have drag queen friends. The drag queen phase really wasn't popular in the 80s or late 70s, but we did have gay friends. We knew that they were, and nobody truly cared. Nobody cared.
I love them just the same.
Right. It was not even a secret amongst friends. Nobody cared. It's like they were just your friends. So you just accepted and you moved on and you didn't think twice about it. And that's just who you're. We didn't have to introduce yourself and say, this is my Democrat friend. And here is my Punisher friend. And here's my Penguin friend. And here's my gay friend. Here's my white friend. Now you have to do that. Otherwise, these people feel like you are leaving them out. Okay. Yeah. This is
I don't have friends like that. Like, I have tons of gay friends and trans and drag queens and the legitimate truth with, I want to say a majority of them are just okay with being them, right? They're just like, I'm okay with being myself, and I'm okay. Like, they don't, I don't know how do I explain that? They don't go out and be like, hi, I'm gay. They're like, hey, I'm Andre, or, hey, I'm Isaac. And they're just like, be comfortable with yourself. And I feel like a lot of the time they're not comfortable with themselves. And that's why they have to, like, bam, in your face. Like, you are who you are. And I guess sometimes that's where I get into it with conservatives, because there's not a lot of conservatives. Well, I won't say this. They're not against gay rights, right? You can not agree with somebody and still believe they have equal rights with you. But it's this whole part of the reason why I couldn't support Tom Norton was he repeatedly was like, these perverts that want to share bathrooms with little girls. And I'm like, okay, yeah, there's probably a handful of perverts that would use that rule to do things to little girls, right? There's probably, but a majority of them aren't doing it to do harm to people. A majority of them, I believe, are confused or just want a right that they think they have the right to. Do I agree with boys using girls' rooms and girls using boys' rooms? I don't, but don't label them as perverts. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Just like we don't like being labeled as racist because we might support Trump, So it's like, you can't just, like,
the knife cuts both ways.
Yeah, you can't just put a pervert label on these people. Do I believe there's more than two sexes? No, but I'm not going to, like, call them perverts because they believe it. I think they're wrong, but they still have the same rights as we do.
Correct.
So I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get the fact that I can not support somebody's lifestyle and still love them. I mean, isn't that what Jesus tells us to do? He tells us to love. I honestly, I think part of being a conservative to me is to want smaller government. So if I want smaller government for me, then damn it, I want smaller government for every American citizen. And part of that is like, you do, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, do you, and leave me the fuck alone, just like I'm going to leave you alone.
And that is where, and that is where I believe 95% at least of the world, gay, straight, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, don't matter. Nobody truly cares what color or sexual orientation you are, or race, or male or female. Nobody cares. It's nobody else's business. But really that also begins, we talk about, to wrap this all up in the schools, when you have to make a point. Well, we can't offend this child over here because all you're doing is you are now ostracizing that person by pointing it out to them. It's when you just sit there and you let the children. Christy Cook made a great point last night. All her son wanted to do was play with another child. And then the kid gets yelled at for asking something totally normal. Do you truly think that if that a 12-year-old boy who was gay and a 12-year-old boy who was straight meet on a playground and playing basketball, that they're going to walk up and say, hi, are you gay? Hi, are you straight? No. You want to play basketball? Yep. They don't care. And it doesn't matter. No. This hyper over sexualization of children, one, needs to stop. But when they point out, well, this person here is your gay friend. Good God, man. All you're doing is you're now putting a magnifying glass on a situation where that this kid, if he grows up and he's gay and he gets a job, nobody cares. It's not your business nor mine or anybody else's who you sleep with, or who you marry, or who you love, period. But when you sit there and say, yeah, we like Trump, so you're a racist. Good God. That's labeling. We got to stop the labeling across the board. And just
and I'm sorry, but no way. Like, I was a tomboy. I still am a tomboy. I don't, like, I like to play in the dirt in the creek and play sports when I was little. And nowadays, I would go to school and they would like get a counselor for me and say, you're confused on your sex, or you're what is it? Trans, I don't know, whatever it is.
Siberian Orchestra.
They would tell me that, and it's like, no, I'm not confused on my sex. I'm just a girl who likes to play baseball. I'm just a girl who likes to dig in the dirt. And now they literally have counselors in school now. Like, they tried to do it to my daughter because she likes soccer and playing in the dirt and going hiking, and they were like, she's confused sexually. No, she's not. She's just a tomboy. What are you doing to our children?
Correct.
She's 10 years old. She doesn't know what her sexuality is.
What gets me is that these. Okay, tell you what. Tonight on the Eagle and Badger show, I am coming out of the closet. I am a lesbian. Okay, and I always have been.
Knew it.
There you go.
I knew it.
And you must identify with me as a lesbian. You must accept that I'm a lesbian. I love women. Okay, I'm sorry. I love the female form. I just do. I'm a lesbian. So you must accept me. Otherwise, you are racist. And I also need to have your acceptance, because I am now going to have this penguin on my shoulder. I'm a penguin lesbian. And you must yes. And otherwise, if you don't accept me, then you're a racist. You know that.
Right.
Yes,
that's another thing, right? I don't have to agree with
you. And you're a penguophobe, is what you are. If you don't like my penguin, you're a penguophobe.
I'm a penguophobe.
I'm a phobophobe, is what I am. I'm so sick of phobes, man. It's like, fuck. It's like, I'm so tired of hearing this phobe word. Xenophobe, homophobe. Okay.
Well, my friend Michelle in Virginia, she runs a, she does skincare. Aesthetics, is that what that is? I don't know. Well, she's best friend with Andre Soriano, who is the biggest like Trump gay designer. When I go down to Virginia and DC, I'm hanging out with gay guys. They're all gay, and they found out that she was friends with Andre, who is a gay conservative who made the Trump dress, and now they're attacking her business, calling her anti-gay and all this stuff. And she's like, we're all like, wait, this doesn't even make sense. This man is like gay. I love Andre, but he's gay, right? So? And they're like, oh no, she's anti-gay. Well, because she hangs out with conservatives, one of her biggest conservative friends is a gay man. What are you talking about? Like me, I was anti-gay for wearing that Trump dress. And I'm like, but the designer is a gay man. They don't want to look at facts anymore. It's all about what they feel. They think or feel that you're a racist. Damn it, you're a racist no matter what. What happened with us? We sat down with Black Lives Matter, went to jail to protect Black Lives Matter's rights. And by the time we got out, we were the biggest gay or homophobic, racist people in the world. And it's like, that doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't correlate.
If I was racist, I'd sit there and laugh. I'd laugh at them while they were getting arrested. Now I said, you're going to arrest them. You're going to arrest me too. Like, we both said that. So it doesn't make sense anymore. Anything that flies out their mouth doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And the problem is that is systemic. That is exactly how the culture has become, is we have to label everything. And then what you're told is you can't label. You have LGBTQ alphabet soup. Okay. Why can't the word just be called gay? Okay. Nobody cares. No. If that's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay. We don't care. Okay. However you want to live your life, live it. But you're right. They have to. This is self-imposed labeling half the time. And then if you don't properly address them by the right pronoun, you're a racist. Wait a minute now.
Or you can go to jail in California. You can go to jail for that.
Right.
And it's like, well, wait a minute. Not that I have a problem. You want to be called a she, whatever, be called a she. Not that I have a problem with it, but if I did have a problem with it, that's now enforcing your views and your belief onto me. So it's like, again, the gay baker. I agree with gay marriage, but I also agree that that man had a right to say, I
Right.
don't believe in gay marriage, so I can't make you a wedding cake. I'll make you everything else in this bakery, but I can't make your wedding cake. He had the right to say that, just like they
Right.
have the right to get married. You
Yep.
cannot oppose your views on somebody else.
Correct.
We live in a republic, not a democracy.
and that's the thing. It's like, imagine if you saw my video the other day when I was taking the carrier pigeon to go putt-putt and we couldn't get in.
Right.
What if I was gay?
What's that?
What if I was gay
What if you
and I
were?
couldn't
Oh,
pay? Yeah, what if I was gay and I was denied service at
right.
that
It would have
putt-putt?
been all hell and fury onto that man.
Correct.
So I'm saying there's two separate
Right.
rules.
And that's the thing. You have so much ACLU crap that goes on right now where everything has to be labeled, where I truly believe that 95% of the population, we are human beings, is what we are.
Yes.
There have been gay people since the caveman days, and there's going to be gay people that are going to till the end of times. Nobody cares. There's been black people since the beginning of time, and there'll be black people till the end of time. And white and Hispanic and Native American and Asian, it does not matter. We have to get back to seeing each other as humans, period. And
Right.
stop this political correct labeling crap, because
Yep.
once again, the government has got you coming and going. You can't point out that somebody is what they are. But if you don't point out that they are somebody, I mean,
Right.
it's the same thing. You can be denied service, or you can be kicked out of a store for not wearing your mask, but you can be fired if you don't force somebody to wear their mask. I mean, what
Right.
kind of happy horse shit did this country become?
Right.
This is so far removed from normal, and nobody truly cared just 25, 30 years ago. When did this all begin? I don't know. Somebody asked that question up the post here a little bit. And, when did it all begin? When I think we lost control as parents of teaching our children and having the ability for schools to back the teacher up, okay, and us to back the teacher up, and vice versa. If you knew your kid was in trouble or being a bully, the teacher worked with the parent, period.
Yeah.
If you had a kid that was on drugs, you work. Now they don't care. And the parents too don't care. They want to get their nails did and go to the YMCA with their kids, an 8-hour of subsidized daycare from the state is what it is. And that is now the disintegration of human dignity between the species. And it's, we better fix it fast because it's only getting worse. And Dennis Thomas's favorite line, he's posted about 57 times on my text and on this thread, we all matter to someone. Yes, Dennis, we know that. Okay.
Yes.
The Alabama Slammer, he's been slamming that line all day long. We do all matter to someone. Period.
Jeffrey
That's the way it is.
Gabrielle said, I have limits sexual orientation words because I will not consider children like Epstein Island crap. And here's what I look at like this. Okay, if we are consenting adults saying I'm bi, I'm trans, whatever, that's fine. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about a 10-year-old being told you're
Correct.
gay, now you can go sleep with this gay man. I'm talking about the fact that if you're not harming anybody else. I mean, people can argue that being gay can harm yourself in so many ways, whatever. But if you're not harming yourself, then absolutely, I believe you have the right to choose who you love. But no, I'm not saying, obviously, a 10-year-old child being molested by an adult is hurting that child.
No.
Regardless, you'll get these idiots that say, no, they're just loving them. That's absolutely flipping ridiculous, and it's wrong on so many levels.
Those are sickos.
So we're not condoning that. I'm by no means. I think every child that is molested or raped by an adult or even their peers for that matter, we need to make sure that we're protecting those children, which is why I want people to know that just because you're gay doesn't mean you're going to go rape a little boy, right?
Exactly.
And if you're straight, doesn't mean you're not gonna go rape a little boy. Like we have to get rid of these stereotypes because it puts our children in more danger, right? Because we think, oh, my daughter's teacher is a straight man, so he's never gonna rape her. You don't know that. You don't know that.
You do know.
Yeah. Every child needs to be protected. Absolutely. I am not saying in any way I agree with the leftist agenda on that. No.
And that's exactly correct. People that are sitting there saying, well, 10-year-old, if the parents are pushing a child towards any kids that are 18, and you're pushing a child towards sexualization, that is abuse of a child.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They are not fully developed adults. Okay. Period. Yeah. Not only is it illegal, but that drives me mostly insane. I was like, oh my God, when they're like, one, I can't stand it when people sit there and say that every gay person, the Bible crazies, okay, the ones that are like, well, every gay is going to burn in hell. Bullshit. That is not the Jesus or the God that I was taught to believe in. You love, you do not condemn. Period.
Well,
okay.
In the Bible,
I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet.
Straight people that commit sodomy too.
Right. So. That's right. But then secondly is when people are like, well, they're all perverts. No, they're not. Every gay person that I know or have as a friend, they just go about their business. You would never know unless they told you. And nor should you know. It's not any of your business. That is where people that are paranoid about that, oh my God, they're probably projecting their own crap is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that is, and that is dangerous. And again, it is the reverse, what do they call it? Dichotomy? I guess that's the word. Instead of people just saying, live and let live, period. You do your thing, I do my thing. And that's all we have to do. That's how we did it. All the way up until recently when government can now fix all the problems.
Yeah,
man, everybody got along fine before then. Jesus Christ. It's like now it's, oh my God, we have to identify as this and that. I identify as this mouse from now on. I'm now a mouse Gwyn. That's me.
Mouse Gwyn?
Yeah. Seriously, man, it's unreal. But we have to figure out a way to stop. What is that? Is it your lighter?
No.
No? I heard a scratch.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you were like, I thought you were like scratching on the wheels. But yep. Oh, it says your feed was going in and out a little bit. Let's see who's on here tonight. As we have solved all the world's problems in schools and all the phobias of the world that haunt the world here. We went a little deep on a Saturday night, didn't we? Bill Straker's on here, right on. Tommy Kukoska, Dennis, the Alabama Slammer Thomas. Yes, Dennis, we all matter to someone. Period. He is right, and that is what makes you all essential. The word essential has been played a lot this year. I'm essential. Right. You're essential. We're essential. Wouldn't you like to be an essential pepper too? It's like, seriously, essential is to whom you are essential for. Yeah. Badger, you're essential for your children and your husband. Right. Me, got the carrier pigeon. You got Kaylee and Jocelyn. We are essential, whether you are making stuffed penguins or the letter F, which is our sponsor of the show last night. That is what you are. You are all essential. And that is what Dennis, I think, is saying. People that are trying to label who's essential, who's not. I'm sick of that word this year. You're all essential.
Oh,
James
God,
Lieber? Joshua Dole said he's a lesbian too. See, they're all coming out of the closet tonight. I love it. Joshua, you can hang with me, brother. Jimmy Nebel, I always knew you had a vagina. Oh, you sick, twisted bastard. I'll tell you what. Jim Roebuck. I'm just looking up the thing. Jeffrey de Gabriel. Christina Rossi. Asti Spamonti. How are you, Christina Rossi? And the Badger's on here. Look, this Badger right there. Crisco Cook. Liz Joint. Oh, man, look at we got an all-star cast. Who are you seeing on your end?
Christy Cook, you said them all. You went up and down the road. We have the same people.
I just wanted to make sure because I know a lot of times I as I'm reading through or we get on our talks. But yes, the world has got to get back to accepting.
James said I'm a little blurry. Okay, so again, we are now streaming on 3 platforms. So I took the resolution down on my camera a little bit to make sure we didn't use too much bandwidth and we could stay connected to all 3 platforms. So that's why I'm a little blurry tonight, guys.
I think it's also on some sort of a sound delay too. I think it might be a little bit on that, maybe because of the bandwidth. But yes, as we try to expand the show, expand all the horizons across the fruited plain. Bottom line, guys, we must reclaim our schools. We must learn how to get along with folks that may not be exactly as handsome and bald as I am. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're all human beings. We all have dignity. You should love each other. Period. That's it. It's none of my business, who the badger sleeps with. Okay. She wants to sleep with her beaver, go right ahead. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. The honey beaver over there. That's okay. It's what somebody called you earlier. Oh, the honey badger. I'm sorry. Yes, the honey badger. And the claygwin. So it's like, you know what? It's okay. Oh, there you go. See?
Oh, wait. Wrong side. Hold on.
Yep.
Beep.
Hello, badger! See, that's how you get along. Love, guys.
Wait. Our badger and penguin love each other, and we're not like, sexist against them, or I don't know, homophobic against them. I don't know, interspecies phobic.
Are you penguin phobic again?
I try to hide it. I do. All right, guys.
Joshua asked if I got a message. If I check my messenger now, it throws my feed sideways. So if you do message us while the show is going on, we ask that you ask the question here. I will always check it after. Tonight we went a little bit early because Badger has the things to do tomorrow. I will check the messages after we're all done here. But yeah, if you send me a message during the time, same with Badger, it kind of has a tendency to interrupt the feed because we do feed off our own internet. So we don't want to do that. Badgerwin. Look at that. Badgewin. Oh, yeah.
Are they going to have a Badgewin?
I love it. Oh, you know what? We should do that. Take the head off of this and stick it on your badger butt. And you got a badger.
Yeah, that would be so weird.
That'd be awesome. That is called Glasnost. Yes, a Badgewin. Good job, Christy Cook. I like that. A Badgewin. Eagle and Badger Show. We love you. Fix the schools, guys, and learn how to love each other no matter what you look like, who you sleep with, or what color you are. Nobody cares. Okay,
Nobody
cares. All must get along. That's right. I mean, I love the honey beaver over there, and she loves the Badgewin here. It's like, that's okay, right?
Lord. He just likes saying beaver.
Yes, well, who doesn't? I'm a lesbian, remember? Guys, we love you. Please go like the Eagle and Badger Show. If you haven't already done it, we will go on. Wait a minute. We said we can't do tomorrow night. You said that, right?
If we do tomorrow night, it's going to have to be real early because I want to be in bed like 8 o'clock. Yep. So, I mean, I say we just take the day off. We're allowed a day off a week. So I say we just going to take the day off tomorrow and pick up Monday night. But that's
I think so, too.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. But most likely, guys, we're going to take Sunday night off. We will catch you on Monday. Sometimes we have to, like, what the honey badger said there is absolutely correct. And then she has a big day. We love you. Yeah. Invite your friends. Matt, thank you for feeding us out there in Las Vegas. And again, you cut us on
we are now on YouTube as well. So you guys can look us up, the Eagle and Badger Show. So we'll be live streaming to YouTube, the Eagle and Badger page, and my Facebook or Clay's Facebook, whatever. So there's 3 different places you can find us in case Facebook decides to take us down.
Got it. They better not. It'd be her fault. You know why?
Well,
they'd be badger. No, because they're badger. They're going to ostracize you. They must be badger phobes.
They're badger phobes.
They are badger phobes.
Make sure you guys are liking and following us.
Love you guys. Eagle here, out, and the
Badger out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.